Welcome, everybody. Today's episode, we're actually changing the name of our channel. So, it used to be Meditating with Michelle. Michelle likes the idea of this being called Soul Journey 424. So, we could just, in a short way, call it Soul Journey. But today's episode, I think, really is going to the heart of how you feel as a person, Michelle, because since you've been going through these growth changes, one thing that I think is great, and I'd like you to elaborate, is you're learning and feeling a lot more comfortable and confident about yourself, as well as you're feeling that you're able to set boundaries with people now. Can you please elaborate a little bit more on both?
Sure. So I'll give you a little history on me. I've always been a people pleaser, and I guess that comes from just wanting acceptance from everyone. And I would form myself to each situation, to each person that I had a relationship with. I was a different person because I was always trying to please them and be the person that they expected me to be, or be acceptable to them. And I don't know, I guess that's due to my past, but that's how I lived my whole life. And what happens when you do that is you don't remember who you are anymore, because you become so many different other people, versions of yourself, that you lose yourself in that process. So I think that through this awakening that I'm in right now, it's made me more aware of what I was doing and understanding that I want to be my true self. Who am I? Not the person that you expect me to be, not the person that others expect me to be. I just want to be myself. And when I am myself, I find that I'm much happier and fulfilled, which I would never get, because I was always trying to please other people. So,
Would you say that when you're pleasing people, and I have to believe a lot of people are people pleasers, when you're doing that, you're expending a lot of your energy.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You're almost being your inauthentic self. You're emulating what people need you to be rather than what you need to be.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I was using all my energy to be this person that I didn't even know who I was, because the true me was hidden beneath the act. It was almost as if I was acting and pretending. I mean, I've always been a nice person, and I've never been a nasty person or a liar or anything like that. I've always been truthful, and I just felt like people needed to know who I really was. But I never let them know the real me, how I really felt about things. So I'm understanding that I was doing that. I'm more aware that I was doing that, and trying to be fulfill my own happiness and my own soul, rather than trying to please other people.
So before we discuss boundaries, that actually prompts me to think, if you are being your more authentic self now, and before you were being more of a pleasing role, if you're, explore this thought with me. If you were exhausting yourself pleasing people, being inauthentic in a sense, and now as you're going through this awakening and you realize it's more important perhaps to utilize your energy, not so much emulating what people need, but becoming your true, genuine self, maybe that is enabling your awakening a little bit more. Now your energies can be focused more on the actual awakening rather than exhausting yourself pleasing everybody.
Yes, I find it's much easier. I'm happier with myself, and I always had a problem. I think I knew I was a nice person, but I didn't love myself, and so I did. So by not loving myself, um, and not being my true self, and losing myself in that process, now since I'm not people pleasing like I was, I'm not perfect at it, but um, I'm much happier, and I don't know if I answered your question.
You did.
Okay.
You did. I think generally we all want to pursue happiness a lot more. I think in this particular case also you're learning, and I think we all are learning this, but you in particular are learning boundaries now. Can you please share with the audience what you feel is the importance of setting boundaries?
I think the importance of setting boundaries is losing yourself and not being your authentic self. You were here for a reason, and you're here to live a life of fulfillment and joy and peace and harmony. And when you lose yourself, you're more wrapped up in trying to make other people happy, and you lost your joy. You lost who you are in, and it's really hard to get back to that. So sometimes in order to get back to your true self and back into your own homeostasis, you have to work harder at it. And you shouldn't have to work harder at it. You should just be. We're human beings, not human doings. So by doing all those other things for everybody else, you've lost your own being, I guess, in a way you could say.
So I kind of look at this, and this may really be, if we have to give this episode a title, it'll be balance. Because I think generally, if we are balanced beings, things work out naturally a little bit better. In a sense, when you're doing nothing but people pleasing, you may be Michelle getting 1% and everybody else getting 99%. We all know the
Right.
the takers, the insane wackos out there that
Yes.
may be doing 99% taking and only 1% giving, but the balance somewhere lies in between. And if you're close to the 40, 50, 60, that area, at least it's maybe more balanced and where you should be in your natural state.
I agree. It's all about balance, and that's great that you said that, because if you get yourself into that 40, 50, 60%, 40 to 60%, that's me. And yes, I have a little bit more to give to other people, but if someone's taken 99% of your energy and you only have 1% left for yourself, how can you ever find your own happiness? You're too busy with that 99% of the problems of everybody else. Because I'll give you, so like if you have 10 friends and they all need something from you, they all need 9% or 9.9% of your, and they're all calling you with problems and different, and they're looking at you for a solution, and you're trying to make a solution or come up with a solution for all these different problems. You have no time for yourself. So it's all about balance, like you said. That was a really good description of that.
So really, the viewers should also be aware that if they are people pleasers and they find themselves in that 70, 80, 90 percentile, that they're giving so much of themselves that they're exhausted, they're tired, they may be irritable, they really are going to not be as authentic as they can be, and that's going to affect their happiness.
Absolutely. That's definitely not. They're not going to be able to find their own happiness because they're too caught up in the problem of everyone else, as well as their own, because we all have our own baggage. We all come with baggage, but the problem is balancing that baggage, because I can't take on everybody else's problems. I have enough on my own plate. So, and I would always try and insert myself into situations because I thought that I could fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I know people. I can do this. I can do that. And now I don't do that anymore.
So, the next question I want to ask is really, I think, a big challenge for you. I think it's going to be a big challenge for everybody who's watching. Your awakening is such an important aspect of your life, and it's making you happier. It's helping you set boundaries. But share with the audience your willingness or unwillingness, or the balance thereof, of you telling people about this, and the risk that you feel is existing in sharing it with everybody.
So, spirituality is a very touchy subject, because spirituality is not religion. Spirituality is, if I had to describe spirituality, I would say it was finding yourself, finding your soul, and realizing that you are one with all that is. And the religion just causes division, because there's so many different religions. It's like politics. Everyone is against the other guy because they don't believe in the same things that you believe. But I think spirituality brings the awareness that we're all one. Just like even in the church, and in the Bible, it talks about how all the different parts make up the whole. The hand has five fingers, but the hand is nothing without the arm, and the arm is nothing without the torso, and the torso is nothing without, So we're all one. You need the good and the bad to be able to decide what's good and what's bad. But to answer your question about not wanting to discuss it, because some of the reasons I just said, the division that comes from it, people don't understand it, and I honestly did not understand it myself because of my religious belief systems. I didn't understand it either, but I had moments of clarity that have come to me. But to answer your question, people don't understand it, and people, I'm afraid, will, because they don't understand it, they'll think that I've lost my mind, or they won't want any part of me because I don't believe the same things that they believe, and I guess in finding myself, I still have that fear of rejection. Not as bad as I had it before, but I don't want to lose 90% of my friends because I've had this spiritual awakening. Does that answer your question?
It does. It does. So, and I would say that is sort of sharing your balance as well. I think, and I would hope the viewers, if you have these similar issues that you're contemplating, please make comments, and I really think it's important for Michelle to see a community forming here, because I think Michelle is not 100% sure if she's going to share this with 80% of the people, 50% of the people. Um, right? You have children involved. You have spouses involved. Very, very
Right.
good friends. To we, as you can tell, we're not extremists. For the fact that we're not extremists, we don't want to just make it all or nothing. There's a balance, and that balance makes it scary because we're not 100% sure who to share it with yet. And
Right, and you don't know who to trust. And I have found, because I've done a lot of research um, on awakenings and things, and listened to people that have gone through some of the similar things that I'm going through, and sometimes they feel alone. You know, we feel alone and excluded and misunderstood, because unless you've gone through it, you don't you just you can't. It's not something that I can explain to someone. I could tell you symptoms, I could tell you things that have happened, and different things that may be similar to what you've gone through, but the feelings that you feel are beyond human explanation. It's something that you just know. You just know. You know that you know that you know that, and you feel it physically in your body. You feel this deep love and bliss, and it's something that you can't explain in human words.
so I would say to the viewers, if you have comments, and Michelle is adamant, she wants to keep this positive. So if you see this and you judge, thank you for watching. You don't need to leave a comment. If this community is something that you're finding to be helpful, perhaps type out your question or your thoughts in a Word document, then cut and paste it into the comments so you have it that way. But again, keep it positive, ask questions, give feedback, because I think Michelle is really in a learning state as well, and she's very, very willing to learn and see more.
I am, and I'm not a YouTuber, so I'm sorry if I look amateur, or I'm not the exciting, outgoing person. But I feel that there's people out there that are going through something that would like to know that they're not alone. So that's why I'm doing this video.
So for the time being, you and your viewers could be the community until you all decide on who you're going to share this with. You will be your community,
Right.
and your sounding board with each other.
Yes. So it's Soul Journey 424. So that's where you'll find me.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and Michelle, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. That's it.